Hi there, folks. This is Sean Broderick with another great interview for you. Now, we are revisiting Maple Gold and the fascinating project that it has up in Canada. Matt Hornor, he's the CEO of the company. We have spoken to him before. Maple has a great project up in Quebec, which was already nice when they were working on it alone. But then Agnico Eagle came along, invested some money in them, and they are combining their project with the project that Agnico Eagle has next door, which just turns into a really nice package. And they've been drilling quite a bit, and they have new drill results right now. That's what Matt's going to speak to us about. Matt, could you please speak to my viewers?
Sure, happy to. And nice to see you again this morning. And thank you for your time. We have been working hard at the project side. I know there's been a lot of pent up frustration around the time it's taken the labs to get some of these assays out. And, good things come to those who wait. We have now been able to release the second set of assays from the second hole out of 22, which has shown 132 meters of 1.58 grams per ton.
Hmm.
This is very shallow also. Somebody mentioned I've seen other results coming from various other projects where they're thousands of meters down. And that's significant for us. This is the Nika zone. It included 100 meters of 1.76 and almost 10 meters of 5.49 grams from 240 meters downhole. And it's also nice to think about the fact that it's in a broader envelope of mineralization that is almost two football fields of 1.28, so 195 meters of 1.28 grams per ton. So I think it should be mentioned that this is one of the best grade thickness intercepts ever encountered at Douay over a 45-year project lifetime. And we say that it's expected to significantly expand the existing resource at the Nika zone, because almost 40% of this intercept was outside the conceptual pits given to us by RPA. So that's an important point to make.
Okay, good.
Oh,
So you are expanding the known resource. And
yeah,
also, this is just one of like 22 new holes you guys have in the works, right? There's more news to come, isn't that right?
very much more. This is this is something that is quite compelling across the boards. I mean, did 22 holes. This is the second hole that we're putting out to the market. The assay just came back to reinterpreted, and we want to get it right. We don't want to jump the gun or anything. The other thing to mention about just this one is that it's significantly wider, higher grade, and shallower than what we picked up on a couple of years ago, which was 50 meters of 1.77 in the same area. So this is the up dip extension, and it's shallower, higher grade, and also significantly wider, which is a great indication of what yet's to come. It also bears mentioning that this remains open in multiple directions. It's not just one area. And
Mhm.
it's really what I like about it, is showing the continuity of the package, which of course leads to bigger and better things as we move closer and closer towards development.
Okay, great. Let's remind people a little bit about what the project is about. Now, your company was working very nicely on the Douay Gold project up in Quebec. Already had a known resource. You were working, drilling on that. Agnico Eagle came along, offered you a deal. Could you explain to people what that deal was and what the combined joint venture looks like?
Happy to. There's a project called the Jutel project, which sits just to our southern border. That's a project that Agnico Eagle started its company on. They produced over 19 years up until 1993,
Hmm.
and produced very high grade, 6.5 grams or so average. Taking into account dilution means that they're actually were mining north of 10-gram rock. And profitably, when gold is trading at $350 per ounce,
Hmm.
$150 an ounce, if you go back to 1974. So we thought that there's a lot of interesting material left behind We know there've been other successful restarts of projects within Quebec, Macassa, Canadian Malartic, and others. Malartic, of course, is owned half by Agnico and Yamana,
Hmm.
50th largest gold mine in Canada. So we really like the idea of not just accepting a capital infusion from Agnico, who are great partners, but also looking at how to diversify our portfolio of assets. And so bringing in a previous mine, and as everyone knows, the best place to find a new mine is in the shadow of a head frame. It cannot be said enough, because some projects are science projects, and some projects actually are built and actually are profitable. And Jutel definitely was profitable at a fraction of today's gold price. So we like the fact that we combine that project with our Douay project, which has incredible potential as an open pit project, a mega project, what would be potentially the largest project on planet Earth as an open pit. Agentis Capital put out a research piece last week, which I would invite the readers to take a look at. And you can speak to what they said about the potential of the project, which should be maybe interesting for your viewers, or invite them to go look at that.
Okay.
So they brought their project. We brought Douay. We have a 50-50 joint venture where both parties own half of two projects. So which is the right way of doing it. They infuse capital. They're spending on exploration over 4 years, $18.25 million minimum. And that leaves us with a very healthy balance sheet at Maple with two great projects, and both projects are just keep getting better and better.
Wow, that's a nice ride to go along for. Yeah. um,
Yeah.
and so, so these results really, really support the idea which you have been pushing for quite some time. I have to say that there's more continuous mineralization across the area and a much larger resource than was first thought. Isn't that right?
Well, it really depends on who you ask about what they first thought. The reason I've directed some of my life energy towards this over what has now been a college term of 4 years, coming up on 4 years,
Mhm.
is because the ultimate potential here is so incredible. If you look at some of the slides that show the depth comparison of Douay versus the other very large projects within the region, we're just literally scratching the surface, and that's why we have orders of magnitudes larger resource potential at our project. So I think that over time, my intention and expectation was this could be 10 million ounce potential project size, if not much larger, and that's why I've spent so much time and energy working on it.
Okay. And so, what kind of milestones can we expect from the project, say, over the course of the next year? What are the things we should be watching for?
I think that you wait for the next set of holes and assays to come out. Those are
Mhm.
important. Well, something else that we just put out was the phase one of the Jutel work. Phase one was the completion of the digitization, which shows, which is digitization of all the historic analog data. No one really ever knew what the historical intercepts were of that project and what they actually left behind. And so we've done that work of putting a warehouse filled with banker boxes into digitized format, and you're going to be able to see in living color in 3D modeling what it is that project's potential is. So I think that's going to open up a whole new lens and view of what the potential project there could look like. And I think definitely watch the space. As I said, I'd like to say, don't turn the channel. Coming soon to a theater near you is what that project really is, and it'll show the world why it is that we were so excited about combining that with their Douay project. On the Douay side, I think again many more holes to come, and we're doing some battery metal exploration. There's some zinc, silver targets to the western side that we're doing some airborne mag on. It's starting in a few weeks.
Mhm.
So there's a tremendous amount of energy, information and news flow coming out over the next few weeks and months. And of course, we are also looking at other targets outside of the joint venture on the M&A front. So we don't like to let, as you know, we don't like to let the grass grow under our feet. We like to get after it, and we're definitely getting after it, looking at a number of incredibly creative transactions that would also change the game for us at Maple. Projects that we'd also own 100% outside of the joint venture with our great partners at Agnico Eagle.
Okay, and you also have all those drill results from last year combined with all the ones you have from this year. You'll have
Mm,
a new resource estimate coming out during the last half of this year, isn't that right?
that's right. So there'll be nearly 20,000 meters of drilling that'll go into the resource update for that'll come out the second half of this year. So that we expect that to change things significantly. And as you get closer towards that critical mass number, that's when you start putting together the PEA and the PFS, and you really take off from there, I think. So we're I like to say we're cracking the code, which is this project showing the continuity. Fred and team are doing an incredible job collaborating with our partners at Agnico. It's really a testament to all their hard work of the teams to working together. The people there have been fabulous, and we enjoy the partnership immensely.
Yeah, I mean, it might be it really must be nice to have access to all those smart people and the great tech and all the money. That must be a real game changer for you guys, you know?
Yeah, well, I would. That's true, and Fred and team are as smart, definitely as smart as they are. I'd say I'm not sure who's, but it's nice to have a lot of smart people around you working on driving value at the project level. I mean, I think about every day how to drive shareholder value, how to think through strategically next steps to help my shareholder base, and it's great to have a hardworking team at site, uh, along with Mia, the dog, as I call her, the Doge, Doge. Yeah, put up there. She's our mascot, who's doing a great job for us too.
Okay, great. I'll just remind people that I am a shareholder, small one, but nonetheless I own it. I'm very happy to have these drill results. And with that, why don't we give people the stock symbols?
In Canada, it's MGM on the
Hmm.
TSXV. Amazon said they're buying MGM Studios today, and I was hoping people would make that mistake.
Wouldn't
But
that
I
be
think
nice?
those it was an I think if I remember, it was an $8 billion trade. And
Uh-huh.
if you add up the value of gold we have in the ground and multiply it times the gold price, you get to around that number, just loosely on the back of an envelope. So it's not too far afield from what ultimately we think we're worth. We're not there yet, but that's our intention. So in Canada we're MGM, and the US we're MGM LF on the OTC.
Yeah, on the OTCQX.
Yeah.
Great. All right. That's it for my questions. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
No, just keep watching the space. We have a lot more news yet to come, and we're excited to get after it and let everyone know what the potential is there at both projects.
Okay, great. Thanks very much for speaking to my subscribers. You folks, thanks very much for tuning in. I'll have more for you. The gold space is very exciting right now, and small explorers like this, especially ones who may be just chipping away at the tip of the iceberg of something really big, well, they can move very quickly in these times as we see gold heat up. So you folks stay tuned. I'll have more for you. This is Sean Broderick for Weiss Ratings. Thanks for tuning in.